What is the secret to solving that very hard and complex problem you have in your life? Maybe maybe a school project, or a very hard task at work, or maybe a new venture that you want to take on. The secret is doing one small task every day about it. Just do one thing about it every day. And and I would recommend that you choose the very simplest of all the tasks that you have. Let's say you have 3 tasks that you can do. Just look for the simplest one and knock that off. If you keep that consistency every day, if you have the ability, knock off, of course, more than one, but at least make sure that you've done something about it. And when you're doing that task, put all your focus and give it your best. Don't do it as you're doing other things. Just give it your best. You can dedicate 30 minutes or 1 hour every day to do something about it. And then make an evaluation at the end of the month or at the end of the week. I would recommend making, when you're just getting started, make sure that you do an evaluation maybe after every 2-3 days, or after every week, or a month. I think is so long. I have like weekly evaluations, monthly evaluations, and maybe quarterly. But I tell you, you're going to realize a very significant progress on that project. And you realize that as you continue to do these small tasks, it's not going to look so complex as it was looking. The problem is most people look at the big problem and then they in their mind they want to solve that big problem all at once. Your mind can't find a solution, but you're able to find a solution for that small task of that big problem. Usually our mind can find a solution to a big problem, to a small problem of a big problem. So try to solve the smallest problem of the big problem every day, and you'll be realizing progress. I'll be surprised how that very huge problem is going to just melt into a very familiar problem. And before you realize it, you'll be familiar with every aspect of that very complex project. That's an approach that I've used so many times at work. Whenever I'm given a very complex task, I usually don't look at the big problem. I always try to break it down and then ask myself what the simplest task I can do about the problem. And then I prefer to start with the simplest. Why? Because they motivate me. They give me the motivation. When you start succeeding, you start getting motivated. But if you start with a very hard tasks first of the big problem, you're going to get discouraged, and then you're going to stop and you're going to give up. But if you start with very small problems and then you start solving those smaller problems of the big problem, you're going to start getting encouraged, motivated, and you're going to start realizing progress, and that's going to boost your energy. And at the end of the day, you have crushed the big problem. Good luck.